Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video on Amy Winehouse and through her song Rehab, which, we all know what that's about. But, I looked at the fact that maybe parts of our life often do go into that because when something has happened. So, trust you found that one encouraging. Well, we're going on to a lass that was born in 1984 in Belleville, Ontario in Canada. And her parents, who were very, very supportive of this lass from as early as 2 years old, realised that she had a pretty amazing voice, and they kind of encouraged her with all sorts of instruments and all sorts of bits and pieces. Her big break came in 1999 when she won the competition to sing with Shania Twain to 20,000 people. So that's kind of where it all started for her. And the last we're talking about, Avril Lavigne. Singer, songwriter, actress. She's done a few movies and TV performances and all the rest of it. Between 2002 and 2022, 7 studio albums, 1 live album, 39 music videos. So 20 years she's been doing this. Is pretty amazing. 9 EPs, 32 singles. Estimated she sold around 40 million albums and 50 million singles. So pretty significant in the scheme of things for someone who's not that old. She's given her voice and her name to a number of charities. She's kind of renowned and known for helping out where she can. And her influences, she very much has influenced the post-punk and also alternate rock genres. And people such as Kelly Osbourne cite Avril as a bit of an influence. She's been nominated 313 times and won 151 awards, including ASCAP Pop Awards, and there's been 8 Grammy nominations in there. And she's got the Guinness World Record for the youngest female artist to get a #1 record, all at the age of 18. And of course, that was that iconic album, Let's Go, all back in 2002. So Avril Lavigne, what can we say? She's a bit of an influencer, has been and probably still is a bit of an influencer in the world. Certainly has captured the teenage market well and truly. I think what people love about Avril, first of all, her voice is pretty good, pretty raw, just pretty whatever. Plays a bit of guitar as well. And she's got a bit of pop. She's also got a bit of rock in there as well. And she's got the voice to be able to carry all of this stuff and make it really, really versatile. She also just as a way about her, in the music industry, you've got to actually be pretty tough. And she's well and truly that. And she has made her mark in the world. And as I said, pretty influential in the scheme of things around that post-punk era. Now, when you think of Avril Lavigne, probably the song you think about the most is Complicated. This came off the album Let's Go of 2002. And this song is all about, hey, can't we just be for a second? Why do we have to bring in all this other stuff, all this conversation, all of this opinion, all of this other stuff? Can't we just be for the sake of being? What a great question that one is. How often do we get the opportunity just to sit down and relax with somebody else and go, I don't have to be anything here. You might have your tracky pants on even, and your hair's just wherever, and you're just kind of being yourself. You're not having to try and be anything for the world because you can just be yourself. I wonder how much pressure we put on ourselves to have to try and fit into the world, with all the clothes and the makeup and the hair and having it look a certain way. Of course, you've got to have the right mobile phone and the earphones in your ears, and you've got to have the right clothes. It's a lot of effort, really, to go to. You think, well, if I don't do it, I'm not going to fit in with everybody else. Well, we're well and truly doing our best to fit in with everybody else at the moment. Everyone kind of looks the same. Everyone's wearing the same clothes, and there's no individuality anymore. I think what Avril Lavigne is trying to say here, and certainly with the way she was, very individual, and when she came out, she really was a bit on her own when it came to what she was doing. But she was saying, hey, I don't actually care about all that stuff. I just want to be me. And I think there's something good to be said about that. that fact that particularly in relationships, you know, we can drop the pretense, we can drop the arguments, we can drop the opinions and just be with each other. Because, you know, the minute you put an opinion into a conversation, it kind of shuts it down a little bit, and you think, well, that person thinks that, well, that's kind of it. Well, let's practice keeping the conversation open a bit more. Someone says something you don't agree with, say, well, I think that. Think, well, hang on a minute. Well, help me. Let's explore that for a second. You know, let's explore why you think that, and because it might be a point of view that you haven't even considered. So instead of like shutting it down with I think that and then I think that, think, well, okay, let's just stay with your point here and let's actually work out what you're trying to think and to say. And you know, the conversation changes from both people trying to get their points of view across to, hey, the conversation's kind of taken over us. And that's the best way to be, I reckon. So let's try to drop the pretense a little bit. Let's try to drop the having to be a certain way stuff a little bit. Let's drop the having to fit in as well. Because so much pressure having to do this stuff every single day when we can just be ourselves. So I trust you found that encouraging today. And good on you, Avril Lavigne, for actually bringing this to the world, this song, Complicated. So we might as well get on to the clips. We've got Complicated from the album Let's Go from 2002. We got the official clip on that one and a live version of that one. The official clip tells the story so well, so it's good to actually see that one there because it's an iconic song for her, very, very successful song for her as well. We then got Rock and Roll. This came off Avril Lavigne of 2013, self-titled album. This is the official clip on that one, basically just saying how good rock and roll is. And the whole thing about rock and roll too is it's about being individual and bringing your individuality to the world as opposed to just fitting with everybody else. And so very much goes along the same lines as Complicated. We then got Girlfriend, her 2007 album, The Damn Best Thing. This is a bit of a dig, I suppose, that I like this guy, he's with somebody else, and all that sort of thing. So, very interesting lyrics, this one. And I think really what she's saying is, if you look past the whole, I'm searching a guy for somebody else, so look at a lot of the signs, is you getting everything out of this world you possibly can? You know, why settle for second best where you can have the best? I think there's a bit of something for all of us in that. That is, let's try to make the most of our lives, but let's not tread on people at the same time. We then got My Happy Ending, which came from the 2004 album Under My Skin, and they say, well, it's very nice to have you doing your thing, but what about my happy ending? I was hoping for a happy ending, and it's kind of not going to happen. So it's all very nice to kind of provide opportunities to be able to think about when things don't go so well, all of the things that you kind of contemplate in those moments, including your happy ending. There's a live version of that one. So the links to those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos are in the description below. And I've also included my last video from Amy Winehouse, so if you want to recap on her, feel free. Well, what can we say? We go into all sorts of genres in this channel, including the teenage genre, that is for sure. But as I've already said, Avril was very significant in the scheme of things, and 40 million album sales is pretty amazing, actually. And good on her parents for showing, realising that they had a bit of a talented daughter on their hands and giving her every opportunity to shine. Well, if you come back for another one, or this is your first time to Life Reflections Through Music, thank you to everyone for hanging around and for coming back and all that sort of stuff. And thank you for the engagement we've been getting of late. Well, that's it for today. Next time we're going to go back to another iconic song of the 80s, and this is Adam and the Ants with Ant Music. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.